This is a quick video to show you how to make a story map using natural disasters data for Canada. So very quickly, you want to get into your ArcGIS account. And what we're going to start off with is what's called the web map. You can change the background, so it could be any one of the, excuse me, I would suggest the National Geographic. It's usually a nice little backdrop. And then we want to add some layers that are already generated. So click on Add, search for layers, and it's going to default to look in your content. Well, you probably don't have anything in there, so switch over to ArcGIS Online. And a really good layer is Natural Events Canada. First one that comes up here by Esri Canada is the layer. It's actually a combination of a variety of different layers. So let's take a look at what the layers entail. So click on Details and Content, and you'll see we've got earthquake, forest fires, floods, storms. I'm just going to turn these off for a second, and we'll just quickly manipulate some of this data. Right now, the earthquakes are just showing as their location, but we can change that by clicking on the name of the layer, and then if I hover over top of this mini toolbar, you'll see Change Style. I'm going to change it from just showing the location to showing the magnitude. And now the circles are going to be drawn proportional to the size of the earthquakes. I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm going to turn on the storms. Click on that layer, and once again I'm going to click on Change Style, and this time I'm going to switch it from just showing locations to tell me the type of storm, whether it's a tornado or a hurricane. So that's a lot more meaningful. All right. I'm just going to turn on all of my layers again. And now what I'm going to do is quickly save it. Never click Save As. There's really no point to it, and it actually causes some problems later on. So just go Save, Save. Give your map an appropriate title. And you have to give it a tag. It won't save otherwise. And I've got some subfile folders, so hopefully I don't have this. Excuse me. All right. Now that it's saved, you have to change the share settings so that it's shared with everyone. So click off everyone. Don't worry about all this other stuff here. And click Done. Save it again. And now what we want to do is go back to our share settings. And you'll see here it says Create a Web App. When you click on that, that gives you all the options of the multitude of great maps that are available. The story map is probably the easiest and most effective for the high school level, and the story map journal is the easiest one. There's not much we have to do other excuse me, other than click through these. So click on Web App. We don't have to change anything here. Just be aware that when you get onto the screen with a Chromebook, it might look like this. And so you have to sort of hover over here and then scroll down so that Done appears. So it's starting to build the story map. You've got an option of either having the writing on the left-hand side or floating in the middle. I like just having it on the left-hand side. I don't need to change the title. So for my first slide, this is my side panel where the text is. The main stage is where this content is. I can have a map, an image, a video, or a web page. Well, typically we start off with showing people where things are. So I'm going to click on Select a Map and go Natural Disasters. Now I want to customize where the map start location is. So I click on Custom, make sure that Canada is front and center in my map, and then save it. I'm not going to change any content. I'll do that later. And I'm not going to have any pop-ups on the first screen. So I do like including a legend and an address so I can search for particular locations. So I click Next. Now this is where I can put some writing. And now I'm ready to go. All right, so let's say my first slide is going to be on earthquakes. So I'm just going to add a new section. I'm going to keep my title really simple, earthquakes. And now what I want to do is I want to turn off all the layers that aren't related to earthquakes. So I'm highlighting what's going on in Canada regarding earthquakes. So I click on, sorry, I'm going to click on custom for content. And that allows me to turn off the forest fires, the floods, and the storms, and just leave the earthquakes on. All right. I'm just going to go look here at the big one. So we can draw the reader's attention to a particular part of the map by highlighting some text, and then you'll see that I can change the main stage. So I'm going to click on that button. It allows me to, once again, change the location that the map is looking at. So I'm going to zoom in here on BC and the big cluster of earthquakes out there. And I'm going to click on the biggest earthquake here, which, well, we got a 6.3. That's pretty big. So that all this information becomes available. And I'll click apply. And I'm also going to include an image. So let's find a picture of the Cascadia subduction zone. And there we go. There's a nice diagram of how it works. All right. I have to click on the image so that this appears, and then I can right click on it. If you're using a Chromebook, you'll use 2 fingers on your touchpad, and then go copy image address. Not copy image, but copy image address. All right. Not this copy link address. That's wrong too. But copy image address. That tells the program exactly where to find that picture. So you'll notice there was a little camera tool here. That's different than the camera tool that's up here. The camera tool that's up here is going to put a picture onto the side panel. So I'm going to click on this little camera tool and click on link. And now I'm going to paste in that address. I'm going to give this a caption, Cascadia zone. I like including the maximize button. You'll see what that does in a few moments. And now when I click add, voila. All right, so I can click on this little button and it maximizes the size of the picture. And if I click on this, it zooms in and shows me that part of Canada. I click the back button and that gets me back to my original spot. Remember to click save. You can keep adding slides after this, but that pretty well covers all the main features you're going to use. And when the students want to send the teacher the link to their map, they click on share. Sometimes you might get an error message here. Just simply click ignore and then copy this and send it to the teacher. Enjoy making your story maps.